Hello folks, my name is Sridhar from Apsona, and welcome to this webinar. I just wanted to talk through some of the document merge tools that we have on offer from our Apsona product suite. The document merge tools are essentially a capability to be able to merge Salesforce data from any report or object in Apsona into either email or Excel or Word. And you can actually create Word documents and send them off using Salesforce email. For this demo, however, I'm going to limit myself to just the document piece of it because I don't think we'll have enough time to do all of the other pieces here. You'll see that it's actually very easy to do merging of data from any report or object in Apsona. You can quickly create templates, manage them easily, and you have all these common use cases that you know and love that document merge is useful for. I will slant this demo slightly towards the nonprofit world because a lot of our attendees today are from the nonprofit domain, although the same ideas will apply across the board to other domains as well. What I have here, let's just get started with the demo. What I have here is a nonprofit starter pack installation in salesforce.com.org. And I have one contact open here, as you can see. And the final goal, at least for the short-term goal for this demonstration, is to be able to support a button here on the contact detail page, which when you click will produce a little pop-up. And when you say OK, we'll merge the data for this contact into a template. And if we download the results of the merge and save it and open it, you can see that the data for that contact, their name, their address, today's date, their donations, cash payments, their assets that they donated, whatever, all of those have been merged into a template. So the question then is, how do we produce this template? How do we go through the process of creating that button? And that's what I want to talk through. So first, let's look at the template itself. Here's a new template that I've created. And it contains standard word merge fields. There's one, first N, last N, address, city, state, and so on. And these fields, as you can tell, come from the contact record. There are two lists here in this sample letter. There is a list of cash donations that this contact has made to us, and there is a list of in-kind donations that they've made to us. Each of these lists contains its own set of fields. So cash donations have a name, an amount, a close date, the total amount of payments associated with those donations, and the number of payments. This has to do with the case where you have multiple payments associated with the same donation. And that's a fairly common situation, as you know, in the nonprofit world. One donation may be supported with multiple payments. Similarly, we have assets that they may have donated to us. So we have a name of an asset, the type that they've donated, and the date. Now, the lists here have been annotated with table start and table end tags, which is fairly standard to say that that's the beginning of the block. The table start is the beginning of the block that constitutes the list, and table start is the end. Table end is the end of the block. The other thing that you should notice is that the field names, the merge fields, first N, last N, and so on, are completely arbitrary. They really have nothing to do with any particular field names anywhere in Salesforce, which means that when you make up this template, you have full liberty to make up the fields just exactly the way you see them. Whatever significance you wish to attach to the fields, you attach by naming it the way you see fit. So for example, total PMT is the total amount of payments for that donation. And payment count is the number of payments that were made in association with that donation. So the other thing that's worth looking at before we actually start the process of creating this is the data model. So in the nonprofit starter pack, there are these relationships associated with or between objects. There is a contact object, and there is an asset object which has a lookup to contact. So I draw the arrow from asset to lookup to say that there's a lookup this way, which means there is a one-to-many relationship from contact to asset. Similarly, there is an opportunity which contains a lookup to account. Opportunity is really donation in the nonprofit startup pack world. There may be many payments associated with an opportunity, which means there is a one-to-many from opportunity to payment. And so that is reflected in the way this this document is set up, as you can see. So there's one contact with whom we have multiple cash donations associated. There's a one-to-many from account to donation, as we saw, and there are many in-kind donations for that one contact, which means there's a one-to-many from contact to donation to asset. And so what we want to do is generate that the content for that template. So here's the process for doing that. First of all, what we need to do is put that template in the documents object in Salesforce. So this particular template, this Word document that we have here, I have stored as this object, doc merge demo, payments and assets, in the documents object in Salesforce. So I'm going to make use of that when we do the merge now. The other thing to note is that in the Word document, before we actually get started with the merge process, the thing to see is that this list here contains data from multiple objects. There's the name of the donation, there is the amount that comes from the donation object and the date. But these things, the total payment and the number of payments, are aggregate values that come from the payment object, which means that we'll have to create a report which produces these data values, and we can populate that the content of that report into this list. So that's what we will do first as the process, as part of this process. So what we'll do is create an opportunities report. So we go to opportunities, reports, make a new report, and let's call it doc merge demo. And what we'll do is flip back and forth between the content here and the Apsona window here, so that we can see what we really want. We want the name of the name of the donation, the amount, the close date, and the two aggregate attributes from the payments. So we'll pull those into the report. So first we will get the name of the opportunity, the amount, the close date, and then we want the metrics from the payment side. So we open up the payment panel, open up the metrics there, and say I want the number of records for the payment. So actually I want to call this number of payments. Notice that I'm really not paying attention to the way things are named in the template. I'm just making up the report as I go along. I'm just making up the names as I go along. So I want the payment amount sum, the total payments. And furthermore, I want to filter this so that I only get the opportunities or the donations that were closed this year. So the opportunity close date is on or after 1/1/2013. The other thing to note here when I create this report is that I'm not really paying attention to the fact that this report must be run for one particular contact. We're just generating a report that produces arbitrarily many opportunities subject to this one filter, that is that they were closed on or after 1/1/2013. And just to make sure this works okay, we'll do a save and run, and there's the list of donations that were made in 2013 along with their payments and amounts of the total amounts. So the next thing to do is actually make use of this report for the merge. So the way the merge process happens, we create what is called a merge action. And in the merge action, we'll encode everything we need to do for the process of extracting the data from Salesforce, from all of these multiple objects for data sources, and melding them into the Word document. So to create the merge action, what I will do is select a couple of contact records here, and go up to Tools and click Merge Mail. So that gives me this pop-up, And this pop-up has the ability to do either a running of an existing merge action. As you can see, if I selected this, it'll give me a menu of merge actions that I can run, or I can create a new merge action, which is what I will do at this point. And this option enables me to merge into Excel, to merge into email, and an email and doc merge as well. And I will not have time to do all of these. We'll just do a docx merge at this point. So we'll leave that selected. Hit next. And the document template that we will use will be the one that we said a little while ago, doc merge demo payments and assets. We want a single docx file with page breaks so that we'll produce all of the different letters from the different contacts in one document. Now, what happens at this point is when I click next, Apsona goes off and fetches the document, this one right here that we saw. It fetches it from Salesforce, takes it apart, and figures out what fields that occur in the merge document are merge fields. And so for each one of those merge fields, it produces a list of available fields to which to map the merge field. So there's address, there's first N, there is state, zip, and so on, as you can see. It also figures out that there are 2 record groups in there, which are delimited by the table start and table end tags here. The fact that we use the word donations here associated with the table start tag tells it that there is a record group with the name donations. So the only significance of this character string assets or this character string donations is that it is the name of the record group with which a list of data values will be associated. And that name figures here, as you can see. And similarly down below, we have another record group for assets. So what we'll do now is start off by mapping these guys. So we'll say that this goes to the mailing address, mailing street, this goes to the mailing city, this goes to the first name, this to the last name, this is the mailing state, this is today's date. There's a bunch of system fields available here, so we'll use today's date as the mapping there. And this is the mailing zip code. And coming down to the record group for donations, we already created a report, and we will use that report for doing the mapping. Now here, notice that we have available all of the related objects, all of the objects available either 1 or 2 steps away from the current object being the contacts object here. Any object that you can get to in 1 step or 2 steps from the current object is listed here as a possible data source. What we'll do though is for this case, we will need to use the opportunity report that we created, doc merge demo. And when we select that report, it gives us as options all of the fields we used right there in the report. So we want the name of the opportunity to map here, the close date, the payment count, which is the number of payments, which we just created, the amount, and the total payment, which is the payment amount sum. We don't need any additional filtering criteria, although it's possible to add them if we wanted to. So we'll remove this filter term. At this point here is where we say that the report, when it's run for this particular context, must be run with an additional criterion that links up the contact ID of the opportunity to the contact ID to the opportunity one-to-one contact of the account. So this is where we're making use of this model, this lookup between account and contact. In the account object, there is in the one-to-one model, there is a lookup to the contact object, which tells it which contact the account is talking about. And so that's where we set up the lookup to say the opportunity's account ID should match the contact ID that we're running this for. That's this linkage right here. Similarly, in the second record group, we will choose asset as the related object instead of a report, and we'll get its data to be mapped to the asset name here, to the asset type here, and I guess let's just use created date as the date to which to map. We don't need any additional filter terms, and we want to link the asset contact ID to match the contact ID of the contact for whom we are running the merge. So that finishes the mapping. Hit next. And in the last step, we have the ability to do some logging. We can set a particular field of one of the objects to a particular value. You can set Boolean values, or you can set date values to particular values here, or you can add a task. For the moment, we'll leave off logging. We will save this action as a doc merge demo. We'll save it with that name. And when we click finish, what happens is that the merge action gets saved and it gets run. So it just finished running, so we can download the results, save it, and open it. We enable editing, and you can see that we ran this merge for a couple, 3 different contacts: Adam Dunn, Aileen Jazz, or Adam Jones, whatever. So you see one page here for each contact, as expected. So we said we want a single docx file separated by pages, one for each contact, and that's what we got here. So what we've ended up with, though, is a merge action that is available for use in other places. So let's close this up, and you'll see that if you go to settings, merge actions, you see that there's a doc merge demo that was just created a moment ago. You see that that's the time at which it was created. So what we'll do is make use of this merge action to tie it to a button. So that is the last step in this process. The way we do that is go up to settings, and we will to generate a button, to create a button in Salesforce, we will need to generate the code for that button so that we can plant it in the Salesforce button code. So we go to VF buttons, VF pages and buttons here. And here we have the option to create a couple different types of code. We will select button for document or mail merge. And it gives us the option to type the name of the action for which the button code will be generated. So we say doc merge, which is what we just named here. We named the document a few minutes ago. And you can see that that's the one that's matching. It's the one that was created a few minutes ago. We will select that. It also gives us the ability to select the particular object for which the detail page must contain the button, and we want it to be the contact. We click generate code, and it gives us a piece of code on the right side, which we then copy, and then we will paste it into button code in Salesforce. And here's how we do that. We go here and go to setup, and customize. These steps are pretty well known for all of you admins here. Open up contacts, open up buttons, links, and actions, and make a new button or link. And we'll call this doc merge demo. We'll make it a detail page button, and we will say its behavior is to execute JavaScript. Scroll down, and here we will paste the code that we just copied over. We'll save it, say OK, and the button is now ready for use. If we go back to the contact page here, reload this page, just so it's valid and made available. We have a little bit of delay with Salesforce loading this morning on some of these contact pages. I'll get back and answer a lot of these questions in just a minute. As soon as we're done, we'll say edit layout here, and when we get to the layout editor for the contact, we have available in the buttons panel here the doc merge demo button that we just created. So we drag that and stick it into the custom buttons area, save the layout, and you see that the button is now available. And we will use it as soon as it comes up. So there's the button, Doc Merge Demo. So let's click it. It takes a moment to bring up the modal, and it gives you a warning that says you clicked it. Do you really want to run the merge action? When we say OK, it finishes the merge action and gives us the ability to download the results, save it, open it, and there is the finished document, which is the letter for Adam Dunn. So this is the entire process for creating a merge action. So we can close this off. We have a few more minutes. I want to show you one more piece of the merge capability that's pre-built, which has to do with Excel merge. So I'll switch over to another org in which I have a pre-built Excel merge available. So just so you can get a sense of what capabilities available are in the merge tool. So this time I'm going to run an opportunity merge, and here I'm going to first filter so that I get only my 2013 opportunities. I'm going to run a merge against it. The same model appears, but this time I'm going to say run an existing merge action. And this will show you what will happen when you try to use an existing merge action. So if I select a merge action here and set this option that says edit this action before running it, I'll have the ability to inspect what it does. So when I say next, it'll walk me through the same wizard, but it'll tell me what options were chosen for this particular merge. So what this is telling me is this is an Excel merge. It says spreadsheet merge options, as it says, and it's going to merge against this spreadsheet. Hit next, and we have all the fields already mapped out for that spreadsheet. No filters needed. Hit next and finish. And when you download the results, this time you will see an Excel sheet. And the Excel sheet contains not just the raw data for the opportunities, but also summarizations based on stage, as well as a chart that shows you, based upon stage, what the individual values of the opportunities are. And the process for creating this template is very similar to the process for creating Word templates, actually even simpler than that. So we will defer much more detail to a later webinar since we don't have enough time. I'm going to try and answer questions at this point. Let's see. First question, for a table list, can you create a table within a table? No, not yet. We don't have nested table lists yet, no. Does the linkage option you listed work for the individual bucket model? Well, for the individual model, I think you'll need to go through the opportunity contact role object, not directly through the account object, because we're using a one-to-one in this case. And in the individual, as far as I know, you'll not have a lookup from account to contact. So you'll have to go through the OCR object in that case. Where is there a syntax library for the terms in a template that Apsona parses? Well, there's documentation on our website that talks about how to create those templates. And if you go to the help and support area, you'll get enough information there, I think. If there's bits and pieces left out, I would really like to hear from you. We're constantly working on cleaning up our documentation and improving it, so please bear with us there as well. Still trying to understand what the importance of a linkage is. Well, let's go and look at the question of the linkage again here. If you look at the, let's see, let's go to all contacts and let's look at that merge action again. This time we'll run an existing merge action, and that will be the doc merge demo that we just created. and hit next. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to edit it. Let's try it again. Merge mail, run existing merge action, edit the thing, doc merge demo, next, and next. Now, take a look at this correlation that's happening here. It's telling us that the contact ID, that the linkage that's being chosen is contact ID matches account.one-to-one contact. What that is saying is that in this record group for donations, we were linking to a report that really had no cognizance of any contact ID. If you remember, when we created the report, we just threw together all of the opportunities in the database, simply filtering based on close date. But when we run the merge, we only want the opportunities associated with that one contact. So what we want to do is, in addition to the filtering criteria that are applied in the report, we want to restrict the report so that its opportunity.account.one-to-one contact matches the contact ID of that contact for whom we're running the merge. That's what this linkage does. It sets up the correlation between the data that is retrieved by the report and the ID of the contact that's being used here. Similarly, in this case, we want the contact, the ID of the contact, to match the contact ID used in the asset. So that's the purpose of the linkage. Can we do an email example? We're almost out of time, so we'll defer that to another webinar. Do you foresee any issues in using the same process to attach thank you letters to the donation object in order to thank each gift individually? Not that I know of. Attaching a button to a daily donation report in order to generate all the day's thank you letters en masse. If you want to generate all of the donation letters of one day en masse, I would recommend using this UI rather than the button. I would say go through the Apsona contacts list, select the contact that you want, and hit mail merge, and it'll run all of the merge actions in one shot. Do you have to have multi-step reporting to report on all objects to make the merge document? No, you don't. If you do have multi-step reporting available, it'll make use of it, but you do not need it. There are some additional capabilities that multi-step reporting offers, obviously, but they are not necessary for all of these cases. Do all the templates you are illustrating come with the program? No, actually. I mean, these are all arbitrary templates. We put them together. The templates were created really with the intent of being compatible with existing products. You know, there's other products out there, Conga, Drawloop, and so on, and they have similar template creation capabilities, and so we really wanted to be compatible with them. So if you've got existing templates, you can use those with Apsona. Can you have the document emailed to a user? Yes, that's one of the capabilities in the email merge feature, which we didn't talk about. On the opportunity record, is there a way to batch update the acknowledgement date? Yes, there is. That's the piece I told you about in the last step here, where you do the logging. So yes, it is possible to do that. What are the key differentiators between Apsona Merge and the native extended Salesforce, one or the other apps? That's a tough one. That's a long list. I mean, I will try to defer that. We'll probably come back to that one at some other point. Missed the beginning. Can I format a number or change a number to a currency? Currency values are auto-detected by Apsona. So when you map a field that happens to be a currency field, Apsona automatically renders it as a currency value. Is this only available for NPSP? No, not at all. This is a generic capability that's available across the board for all Force.com apps. So you can use it in any Salesforce org. What is the key difference between Apsona Merge and Conga Composer? Well, that's a tough one. To my mind, it's a lot easier to create templates with Apsona Merge. It's a lot easier to correlate templates with reports. I think the whole maintenance process is easier. But on the other hand, we don't yet support PDF. We don't yet support trigger-based creation of templates or time-driven creation and those sorts of things. So there is a place for Apsona merge in the world, I think, and certainly Conga has been around for quite a while. They're a very good product, so it's really up to you to figure it out, and we'll be glad to help you make the decision. What is the pricing? Well, let's take a look at the pricing here. If you go to the pricing page, we offer the email and document merge at $150 for up to 3 users for the nonprofit world, and $195 per year for up to 3 users for the for-profit people. $50 per user per year additional for nonprofits, and $60 for for-profit users. You will see that it compares very favorably with other offerings out there. Conga Composer has the option to use workflows. That is correct. We don't yet have that capability. For a table list, can you create a table within a table? No, as I said, we don't yet have that capability. Any other questions? We're just about out of time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. Wonderful to be able to present this to everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye.